7 bankruptcies. Aston Martin survived. How? They filed first in 1922. Then 1926. Again in 1935. And 1947. Followed by 1974. Next, 1984. Finally, 1998. Can they survive? What's behind this chaotic cycle? You'll discover the shocking truth. Aston Martin's story begins in 1913. Founders Lionel Martin and Robert Bamford created the company. They built their first car, the Coal Scuttle, in a small London workshop. This tiny start led to big dreams. Martin and Bamford aimed high, competing in the prestigious French Grand Prix. But their journey was far from smooth. The first bankruptcy hit in 1922, just 9 years after their inception. The company's finances were in shambles, with debts piling up and no clear way out. Yet, somehow, they managed to bounce back, only to face another financial crisis in 1926. This pattern of boom and bust would become a recurring theme in Aston Martin's history. As the years went by, the company changed hands multiple times. In 1947, David Brown, a British industrialist, acquired Aston Martin for a mere £20,500. Brown's vision was to create a luxury sports car that would rival the best in the world. Under his leadership, the company produced some of its most iconic models, including the DB2 and the DB5. The DB5, of course, is famously associated with James Bond, thanks to its starring role in the 1964 film Goldfinger. But despite these successes, Aston Martin's financial struggles continued. The company filed for bankruptcy again in 1974, and then once more in 1984. Throughout the 1980s, Aston Martin was owned by Victor Gauntlet, a British businessman who had a passion for the brand. Gauntlet worked tirelessly to turn the company around, investing heavily in new models and technology. But his efforts were ultimately unsuccessful, and Aston Martin was sold to Ford in 1987. The American automaker poured millions of dollars into the company, helping to modernize its facilities and expand its product lineup. However, Aston Martin's financial woes persisted, and the company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy once again in the late 1990s. In 1998, Aston Martin's future looked bleaker than ever. The company was deeply in debt, and its sales were plummeting. It seemed as though the iconic brand might finally be forced to close its doors for good. But then, something unexpected happened. A group of investors, led by John Sinders, stepped in to save the company. Sinders, an American businessman, had a deep love for Aston Martin and was determined to restore it to its former glory. He assembled a team of experienced automotive executives, including Ulrich Bez, a former BMW and Porsche engineer. Together, they set out to create a new generation of Aston Martin cars, ones that would be faster, more luxurious, and more desirable than ever before. As the new millennium dawned, Aston Martin was poised on the edge of a new era. The company had survived 7 bankruptcies, but its future was still far from certain. Could Sinders and his team turn things around, or would Aston Martin finally succumb to its financial struggles? The answer would depend on a combination of clever management, innovative design, and a healthy dose of luck. But one thing was clear: Aston Martin's story was far from over. The company's turbulent past had set the stage for a thrilling new chapter, one that would see it emerge stronger, more resilient, and more determined than ever. And as we'll see in the next part of our story, the best was yet to come. As the new millennium dawned, Aston Martin was poised on the edge of a new era, with a renewed focus on innovation and design. The company had survived 7 bankruptcies, but its future was still far from certain. Could Sinders and his team turn things around, or would Aston Martin finally succumb to its financial struggles? The answer would depend on a combination of clever management, innovative design, and a healthy dose of luck. But one thing was clear: Aston Martin's story was far from over. The company's turbulent past had set the stage for a thrilling new chapter, one that would see it emerge stronger, more resilient, and more determined than ever. And as we'll see in the next part of our story, the best was yet to come. But what happened next, nobody saw coming. In 2000, Aston Martin launched the DB7 V12 Vantage, a car that would prove to be a game changer for the company. With its sleek design and powerful engine, the DB7 V12 Vantage was an instant hit, and it helped to establish Aston Martin as a major player in the luxury car market. The company's sales began to rise, and for the first time in years, Aston Martin was operating in the black. The team at Aston Martin was ecstatic, and they knew that they had finally turned a corner. They had survived the darkest of times, and now they were ready to take on the world. The DB7 V12 Vantage was just the beginning, and the company had a whole range of new models in the pipeline. And this is where everything changed. The launch of the DB9 in 2004 was a major milestone for Aston Martin. The DB9 was a sleek and sophisticated car, with a powerful V12 engine and a sleek, modern design. It was an instant hit, and it helped to establish Aston Martin as a major player in the luxury car market. The company's sales soared, and Aston Martin was finally operating on a level playing field with its competitors. The team at Aston Martin was over the moon, and they knew that they had finally achieved their goal of creating a car that was truly world-class. But there was one secret nobody knew about. The real reason for Aston Martin's success was not just the quality of its cars, but also the clever marketing strategy that the company had adopted. By targeting a specific niche in the market, Aston Martin was able to establish a loyal customer base, and the company's sales began to rise. As the years passed, Aston Martin continued to innovate and push the boundaries of what was possible. The company launched a range of new models, including the V8 Vantage and the Rapide. Each new car was more sophisticated and more powerful than the last, and Aston Martin's reputation as a manufacturer of high-quality luxury cars continued to grow. The company's sales continued to rise, and Aston Martin was finally operating at a level that was comparable to its competitors. But the real challenge was yet to come. The financial crisis of 2008 had a major impact on the car industry, and many manufacturers struggled to stay afloat. Aston Martin was no exception, and the company faced a major crisis. What they discovered next changed everything. The crisis was a major wake-up call for Aston Martin, and the company was forced to take a long, hard look at its operations. The team at Aston Martin knew that they had to act fast, and they implemented a range of cost-cutting measures to stay afloat. The company reduced its workforce, cut back on production, and focused on developing new models that would appeal to a wider range of customers. It was a difficult time, but Aston Martin emerged from the crisis stronger and more resilient than ever. The company's sales began to rise once again, and Aston Martin was finally operating on a stable financial footing. But the real reason will shock you. The key to Aston Martin's success was not just its cars, but also its commitment to innovation and design. The company had always been at the forefront of the industry, and it continued to push the boundaries of what was possible. Today, Aston Martin is a thriving company, with a range of models that are highly sought after by car enthusiasts around the world. The company's commitment to innovation and design has paid off, and Aston Martin is now a major player in the luxury car market. The team at Aston Martin is proud of what they have achieved, and they know that they have created something truly special. As we look to the future, it's clear that Aston Martin will continue to thrive and innovate, and the company's legacy will live on for generations to come. But there's more to the story, and we want to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. We'll be exploring more stories of innovation and perseverance in the world of cars, and we want you to be a part of it. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and join us on this journey into the world of automotive excellence. And as you watch this video, remember that the story of Aston Martin is a testament to the power of determination and innovation, and it's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a brighter future. Like, comment, and subscribe now, and let's keep the conversation going.